For the first time in nearly 250 years, the United States population is projected to shrink in 2025. This isn't just a statistical anomaly, it's a profound demographic shift with significant economic implications. Welcome to Demography in Context, Beyond the Data. I'm Roberto, and in this episode, we're examining a truly historic demographic event unfolding in the United States. Our topic centers on the forecast that the U.S. population is poised to experience its first annual decline on record this year, largely driven by new immigration policies. This shift, predicted for 2025, with early data from January to June already supporting the trend, stands to affect the U.S. economy, various industries like construction, agriculture, and hospitality, and the overall labor force. What explains this sudden and unprecedented turn, and what do the underlying figures reveal? Let's look at the numbers. The American Enterprise Institute, or AEI, forecasts a net outward migration of up to 525,000 people for 2025, contrasting sharply with net births of 519,000. This could lead to an overall population shrinkage of 6,000 people this year. To put that in perspective, net international immigration is projected to plummet from 2.8 million to between 115,000 and minus 525,000, a staggering 96% fall based on AEI data reported by The Telegraph in September 2025. Adding to this, the Pew Research Center's analysis of census data revealed the foreign-born population fell by 1.4 million, from 53.3 million to 51.9 million between January and June 2025. And deportations are on track for their highest number in a decade for 2025. These figures paint a clear picture of rapid change indeed. So, what patterns emerge here? Historically, the U.S. population has always grown, even during the Civil War or the COVID pandemic. Demographer William Frey of the Brookings Institute had projected growth until the 2080s before any shrinkage. The current data, however, suggest a dramatic, policy-driven acceleration, defying decades of trends. This matters significantly for business and policy. Reduced immigration means a shrinking labor pool, directly impacting economic growth. NISR analysis shows immigrant workers contributed nearly half of cumulative U.S. GDP growth post-pandemic. Industries like construction, agriculture, and hospitality, with up to 30% foreign-born workers, face acute labor shortages. Furthermore, $3.6 billion is projected to be spent annually on deportation transportation, a six-fold increase. What does this mean for economic planning? However, we must consider the limits and unknowns of this data. These population figures are primarily forecasts for 2025, so final data could vary. The long-term behavioral responses to intensified immigration enforcement are also complex and not yet fully quantifiable. While the White House suggests there's no shortage of American minds and hands to grow the labor force, the rapid demographic shift raises questions about the feasibility of quickly reskilling domestic potential to fill immediate gaps, especially in sectors like construction or agriculture. Our reasonable inference is that current aggressive immigration policies are tightly correlated with this rapid demographic contraction, carrying clear economic consequences. For our listeners, imagine a line graph showing net immigration plummeting, or a bar chart highlighting the 1.4 million drop in the foreign-born population between January and June 2025. These visuals would starkly demonstrate the rapid change. Let's tackle some quick FAQs. Does this mean the U.S. economy is doomed? While a demographic contraction presents significant headwinds, especially for labor-intensive sectors and GDP growth, economies are dynamic. The question is how quickly other factors, like automation or increased domestic labor force participation, can adapt. Can domestic workers fill these gaps quickly? The White House suggests there's untapped potential. However, the speed of demographic change, combined with the specific skills and geographic distribution of jobs currently filled by immigrants, makes rapid substitution a complex challenge. Is this simply a temporary dip or a long-term trend? The initial data and forecasts point to an unprecedented rapid shift. Whether it becomes a sustained trend depends entirely on future policy decisions and their ongoing impact on migration patterns. My actionable takeaways are: businesses must reevaluate labor strategies, invest in automation, and explore domestic talent pipelines more aggressively, especially in construction, agriculture, and hospitality. Policymakers should consider the broader economic implications of immigration policies on labor supply, GDP growth, and sector-specific viability, balancing enforcement with economic needs. For researchers, monitor evolving demographic data closely, distinguishing between short-term policy impacts and underlying long-term population trends to inform future planning. Bottom line, the projected 2025 population decline signals a profound policy-driven demographic shift for the U.S., with clear economic implications for labor and growth. What long-term questions should we be asking about the interplay between immigration policy and national prosperity? For our detailed sources today, please refer to the episode notes for a comprehensive list. Thank you for tuning in to Demography and Context Beyond